How good has it been to have a full week on the training field?
Yeah, it's fine. Listen, we were disappointed that we conceded silly goals at crucial times against Plymouth. But grand scheme of things, you know, we picked up 6 points from the week. We never wanted to get beat. We never liked getting beaten. But you know, we're not being too hard on them. We're just trying to get back to a good week where we've just gone through our normal routine of working on different things ready for Saturday. And the lads have trained well and responded well. We were all disappointed Saturday, but things move quickly in football, and we just have to get on with it.
And you talked after the game about game management. Is there anything you can do on the training field that'll help that?
We've talked about it, and we'll keep trying to reiterate it. And to be fair, game management with this group has been really good. Just on Saturday, we kept almost getting back into it, and then just shooting ourselves in the foot again. So it didn't happen for us on Saturday on various fronts, and we've got to learn from it and be better than that on Saturday.
You said after the Cambridge game that you felt beforehand, yeah, right, we can get something here. I've picked the right team, and everything was right.
Yeah. Didn't quite feel the same against Plymouth. You know, they're a good side. I thought they played the system really well. Their mobility caused us a few problems. They were better than us all over the pitch, really. And sometimes you have to hold your hands up and say, right, on the day we'd had a 4-hour journey to Cambridge. We'd had an overnight trip to, and they're not excuses. But I will tolerate that because we have to move on with this group, and we've got to try and play to our strengths. Try and see what Plymouth. We both played the similar systems, and realise what they did better than us, and try and improve on it this Saturday and throughout the rest of the season.
So home advantage then could be really, really helpful against York.
Yeah, we think so. We hope so. You know, we've put in some decent hard-working displays, particularly at home, and you know we're on the back of a win there against Northampton. So we're looking forward to getting back to our place. Of course we are. And just because York are where they are in the table, doesn't mean it's going to be an easy game. You know, I think they've nine draws in 15 games. It just tells you they're not an easy side to beat. We see some friendly faces coming back. Russ, Keith, and Luke Summerfield. So they're going to be right up for it. They're going to really want to do well, and that's what happens. And we've got to make sure that we're as good as we can be, and try and get another win.
And obviously Russ Wilcox has taken over at York. How much has he changed things? Because obviously it's a fairly recent appointment.
We've seen a couple of games on the DVD of since Russ has been in charge. It'll take him a little bit of time for sure, but he'll try and do. You know, they played the same system at Scunthorpe 4-4-2 pretty much, so he'll tinker with a few things. And while we're on the subject of Russ, how he got the sack at Scunthorpe, you know, after the run he had last season is ridiculous. To be given only sort of 10-12 games at a new club in a higher division, mind blowing really. But you know, I'm glad he's straight back in. I played with Russ years ago, and another great character, great lad to have around, and a winner, and hopefully try and put one over him on Saturday.
And you mentioned that run that he had at Scunthorpe leading them to promotion. I mean,
brilliant.
They were massively hard to beat then, so he's going to make it York even worse.
They've got good players, of course they are. They had good players, but no, he's got some at York, and you know, he obviously does things right, and I'm sure they're going to go on. I'm sure they won't be where they are. So we have to be mindful of that. But just while they're down there, let's try and make sure we keep them down there, you know, while we play them. It's going to be a tough game, and we've got to make sure that, like I said before, we get back to doing what we do really well, defensively, and being a little bit tighter than we have been of late, and trying to get 3 points.
Injuries still just Matt and Asa?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, we had a good week. Matt Richards had a slight knock earlier in the week from Saturday, but we'll be training today, and we just get back there as a team and see what I think we've got everybody available pretty much. So that's good. Bar, I say Matt and Asa.
And you mentioned sort of the need to tighten up at the back. I mean, Jack Demon obviously is the youngest player in that defensive line, but just how much is he learning at the moment in terms of gathering experience? Because it's a position that youngsters sometimes don't always get pitched into, isn't it?
Yeah. He's doing well. Just as a unit, as a 5 and or a 3, and the keeper and the midfield in front, we just got a few things wrong at the wrong times on Saturday. But apart from that, they're competitive. They're defending brilliantly against Cambridge, but we didn't manage to do that against Plymouth. I must say it's just going back to, not back to basics, but just back to our good habits, trying to just reinforce things in their minds and just clear things up and so they can make good decisions on the day.
Thank you, good luck.
Cheers, Paul.
You've got a selection dilemma up front, obviously, with John Marquis coming back.
Of course I have, and that's what we need, First game we hadn't scored for a little while, and on Saturday for a little while. John's performance against Cambridge obviously brings him well back into the equation, but so you say, but I was chomping at the bit to play. We'll see where we are today. We're gonna we'll have a good day today, and then just go from there. I know what I want to do, but I'll just have a look at 1 or 2 bodies and see what we come up with.
You're almost picking teams to suit how you feel Cheltenham can exploit the opposition at the moment.
I have done in a couple of games, but no, we probably need to get back to being what we're about, and we do try that. But we just try and tinker every now and again. And like last week, I thought Joe just looked a little bit tired, and it was Amari's chance. And we're not coming away too much from what the blueprint is, if you like. But we will just change it if we feel necessary.
How much are you aware of, obviously, Russ, Luke and Keith coming back and the fact that the fans might give them a nice welcome? And
I hope they do. They deserve it. They were both all great stalwarts for this football club. As long as that I brought them all to the club. Luke only had, did he have a season here?
Yeah.
And it ended a little bit disappointingly. But he was a catalyst in that team that we had, alongside Russ and Marlon. Russ went on to captain the club and was great for me, and I've had him in 5 or 6 years of my managerial career at Kidderminster and here, and he plays with his heart, plays with energy, and the fans love that. And Keith was really good too. Probably didn't get the chances that he might have deserved. And maybe that was wrong on our part, but that happens. Managers think they can do better here and there, and maybe sometimes you're better off with just what you know. And Keith probably got in and out a little bit too many times for his liking, and that's fine. And we received good offers for those two, and they found themselves sort of on the way, and that's what it is. We got 2 good offers for them from a League 2 club, and the circumstances had to be that if we needed to rejig it a little bit, we needed to do it, and that's the only reason they left. Both good guys, all good guys, like I said before, and both did brilliant for York last season.
You don't fear that they might just have that extra bit of motivation?
Of course you do, but that's life. I'm sure they'll want nothing more than Russ to come and get, set a cross up for Keith to come and put through the back of the net. But that's that. I wouldn't take it personally. I'd want to do exactly the same.
Yeah, you mentioned, just going back to something about Russ Wilcox and the treatment he had at Scunthorpe. Does that make you sort of happy you're at a more settled club, as it were, and that's not something that usually happens here?
Yeah, this club's renowned for sticking with people and stability, and that's great. I don't know the full circumstances, what went on what his remit was this season and stuff like that, but for a man who's gone unbeaten for the length of time he did, and things hadn't gone as well as you would have liked, you just want that little bit. You want teams to have that little bit of loyalty, and sometimes better what you know. Russ, he's gone from the best manager in League 2 last season, awarded by the LMA, to 10 games in, finding himself out of a job, and there's a step up. I spoke to him about a player a week before he left Scunthorpe, and he said it's a tougher league. Every game is that little bit more quality, and we openly talked about that. But he was, they were learning all the time. He felt they were getting better. You don't know what goes on, do you? You just got to look after yourself. But I just felt, it was a bit of a. I'm glad to see him back in because he didn't deserve what happened to him, in my opinion.
Cheers, Mark.